Welcome to Built on Faith Homestead. Today we're going to do a hunting video. It's not going to be, this isn't a hunting channel. I'm self-hunting, self-recording. It's all going to be on a phone even, so it's going to be probably limited recording. We'll do the best that we can. But I am super, super excited. There is little more on this planet in this day and time that gets me more excited than going to chase down a whitetail deer. I absolutely love it. This is one of those things that I started when I was young, going with family, and way back when they didn't have the youth seasons and all that like they do today, and you couldn't hunt or actually pull the trigger on a deer until you got up around 12 years old. But I have been going since I was a little bitty feller, and I would just sit with my dad or my uncle or whoever, and deer hunting, hunting whitetails is in my bones, man. I absolutely love it. I love getting to go. I love sitting in the woods. I love watching the squirrels and the rabbits and the deer and all of it. I love every ounce of it. It is one of the few real, what I would say, passions that I have left anymore that really just, man, I get excited for and I get excited about. Now, you want to sit down and talk scripture with me? I can get amped up for that. It runs deep in my bones. You want to have some good church services and good revival services? That is more important to me than deer hunting, right? But this is one of those things, man. Absolutely triggers something deep down inside of me that's hard for me to put into words. It is so much fun for me. I truly just enjoy being in the outdoors. I truly enjoy processing the animal. I truly enjoy eating that animal. I don't like deer and try to make it taste like something else. Like I like deer meat. I like sitting down at night to eat our deer meat and knowing that this was an animal that God has created and allowed us to harvest. It speaks down to the very core of me and kind of who I am. Now, a few years ago, Missouri changed their bow hunting season. It's been a lot of years ago now. And it opens up like September 15th when it's still like 100 degrees. And I'm usually not too interested in going much in September, but as we get closer into October, then like the whole month of October, I really like to go. However, today, September 29th, is, at least when I'm recording this, is my birthday. And I don't make too big a deal out of birthday. Well, for my kids I do, but not for myself. However, since they've changed that, I've always thought, man, it would be super cool to harvest a deer on my birthday. And I've never done it. So today, we've done a few chores around the place. I need to go shower. Although it's warm enough, I don't know that showering's gonna help. But I've been working with the chickens today. And I had to get down on the ground inside the run. And I don't want to smell like chicken poop and be all chickeny while I'm out there. So I will at least get that washed off me. Shoot my bow a time or two more. Make sure it's on at least good enough to put a deer down. And we'll get showered up and get our clothes changed. And we'll head towards town. It's a little windy. In fact, if I'm remembering the stand location just right, the wind's going to be a little troublesome where we're going. But I am excited. We will shoot our bow a time or two, clean up, get our hunting clothes on, and we will get an old red and head towards town. So if that's something that you're interested in, and I'm going to tell you right now, if you're offended by somebody shooting a small deer, you may not want to watch this video, because if it is one that I got to shoot the spots off of comes walking by, I'm going to probably sling an arrow at it. I would be glad to shoot a big buck, but that is not really my primary goal. My primary goal is meat in the freezer, and I'm just going to be honest with you, it'd be kind of cool to shoot one on my birthday. So let's fling an arrow or two, and then let's go get ready. Alright guys, we are showered up, cleaned up. We're in the old red truck, headed to town. I'm on a hunt at my grandma's, which is kind of like hunting a subdivision almost. It's almost like an urban hunt. It is outside the city limits. It is in the country. Lots of like 5 to 20 acre little fields around. Basically, I'll be hunting a dry creek or a wet weather creek that the deer are using for travel corridors. Like we've said before, typically see deer there. Just whether or not they get in bow range and whether or not they come on over to grandma's will be a different story. But we are going to head that way and see what we can see. I will not be recording much on the drive because I'm in old red, and this is you gotta drive it type truck, not a drive it and play with your phone type truck. Right now I'm sitting parked, just got done throwing the trash out, doing the dad duties, and we are gonna head to town. Man, I'm excited. This is the first time I've been, last year I didn't do any deer hunting because of the tiny house and trying to get it done and all of that. It's my first time deer hunting in a couple years, and I am amped up. So, deer or no deer, it's gonna be a good time. I want to show you guys the setup we got here and make our way back to the stand. So basically, you're looking at a pretty good sized little hayfield here. The tree line that you see right there is a wet weather creek. That tree line is a fence line, and back there in that back little corner, I have got a tree stand up and a walnut tree that I'm going to make my way to. I'm just going to walk over here to the creek and then walk down the creek to where my tree stand is, and then I will show you some more once we get up into the tree stand. Once again, this is almost like urban hunting here. Right behind me is Grandma Joanne's house. Her neighbor just, I mean, maybe 50 yards across the way. I can hear kids playing outside and those kinds of things, but it's still a really good place to be and a good place to see some deer, and I'm excited to spend some hours in the stand here this evening. Thought I'd show you guys the general setup before I put my gloves and my face mask on. Just got up here. It's been a couple years since I've been in this stand. I need to come back and cut some shooting lanes again. I had some shooting lanes, but they have overgrown in the last couple years. But I still got a few holes to stick an arrow through if I need to. But I'll show you guys that, and I'll show you guys something that I personally don't know that I've ever seen in the woods. So this field you're looking at is on the back side of that dry creek I showed you a while ago. That next tree line you see out through there is where a lot of times the deer bed down. They come out of it, then they come into, they filter into this back field a lot of times. And so I got a few places I can shoot up through here. You're looking at about a 30 to 40 yard shot, which is something I'm pretty comfortable with. And so we will just have to see what happens here this evening, if they'll come through this way. And then this is the front side of that field that you've seen, and I have seen them come out of this back corner that's behind me and work down this creek line as well. So in a perfect world, the deer will actually come from behind me and stand in this little open spot and give me about a 10-yard shot in a perfect world, but it rarely seems to work that way. And let me see if I can zoom in on it. Obviously a hawk or an owl or something has killed a rat, or a pretty good, I'm gonna call it a rat, and left it on this limb before they got it completely ate. And now there's bees and flies forming that thing, which is kind of crazy for me to sit here and watch. I'm actually hoping I'm not in the bee tree. I haven't seen a hive anywhere, but hopefully their hive is in a different tree along someplace else. But anyhow, kind of neat to see something a little bit different for sure. Hopefully we will get back to you guys with some deer action. I'm recording myself with my cell phone, so it's going to be hard for me to record much if I do see a deer, but we'll do the best we can and just kind of go from there. We'll catch up with you guys in a bit. This mask will be more effective than most that you have to wear today in the job that it was made to do. We'll catch up to you guys in a bit. I know the lighting's terrible, but let's go back to the truck. No deer tonight. I had some deer behind me. I had no idea they were there. It was really thick woolly behind me, and they started blowing and they took out of there, and in my head, I thought, well, maybe they winded me because the wind was kind of going that direction, but not really. And I just assumed, well, I got winded and all is well, and we'll just, it's part of it. It happens sometimes, right? And then about 20 or 30 minutes later, a coyote come out from that direction. And so, as you guys got to see in the video, that coyote there in the field circled around me, went and bedded down the field there. I pulled one of the to get him to come to me, and he did. He come like right at 20 yards, but he was in brush, and I didn't have a shot at him whatsoever. He walked out there to what I thought was about 45-ish yards, and it was open. Now, I'm not the bow guy, right? I really need anything. I need it 40 or under for sure, and I need a deer probably at 30 to be real comfortable flinging an arrow. And but I looked at that coyote, and he ripped my deer hunting. And so I flung a couple arrows at him, but I missed him. The second time I got close enough, it scared him. He took off. But that is part of it, and it was still fun, and it was still good to go. We will try to do more videos, hopefully with more content in those videos as the year goes, as we try to learn more and learn more about recording these hunts and stuff. But this is a huge part of our homesteading adventure, is deer hunting and fishing and those kinds of things. So we want to show that too. It'll probably be on Rumble only, but I also want to get into processing deer. I take it as a personal challenge. Whenever somebody talks about not liking deer meat, I take that personal. I think most of the time the reason why people don't like deer meat is because they've had it where it was not handled and prepared properly, so they didn't like the flavor. So be on the lookout for those videos as they come. Appreciate you guys watching, and we'll catch you next time.